Imagine a battlefield. A valley filled with the terrifying sounds of clashing armies. On one side, the battle-hardened Philistines. On the other, the fearful soldiers of Israel. For 40 days, a shadow has fallen over this valley. A shadow cast by one man, Goliath of Gath. He's not just a soldier. He's a giant, nearly 10 feet tall, encased in gleaming bronze armor, wielding a spear with a tip weighing more than a bowling ball. Every morning and every evening, he strides out, his voice a roar that shakes the very bones of the Israelite army. He dares any man to face him in single combat, to decide the fate of both nations. But no one dares. Not a single champion steps forward. The Israelite camp is paralyzed by fear. Their greatest warriors, men of renown, can only watch in dread. Goliath mocks them, mocks their army, and mocks their faith. The situation seems utterly hopeless. Who could possibly stand against such a monster? The answer comes from the most unexpected place imaginable. A young shepherd boy named David arrives at the camp, not to fight, but simply to bring food for his older brothers. He's just a teenager with no armor, no sword, no military training. He hears Goliath's taunts and sees the terror in the eyes of the soldiers, and something inside him ignites. He can't understand it. How can they let this giant defy the armies of the living God? While everyone else sees an unstoppable monster, David sees an opportunity. He goes to King Saul and declares, "Let no one lose heart on account of this Philistine. Your servant will go and fight him." Think about the courage that takes. The king, the generals, everyone scoffs at him. "You're only a boy," Saul says, "and he has been a warrior from his youth." But David isn't relying on his own strength. He tells the king about how he has defended his father as sheep from lions and bears with his bare hands. He's not bragging, he's testifying. He knows his strength comes from a higher power. Saul, desperate, finally agrees and tries to put his own royal armor on David. But it's too heavy, too clunky. It doesn't fit. David takes it off. He's not going to fight this battle someone else's way. He's going to fight it his way. So David walks towards the valley floor to face the giant. What does he carry? Not a sword, not a spear. He carries his shepherd's staff, a simple sling, and 5 smooth stones he picked from a stream. Imagine the scene! Goliath, the colossal warrior, sees this boy approaching and bursts into laughter. "Am I a dog?" he bellows, "that you come at me with sticks?" He curses David and promises to feed his flesh to the birds and the wild animals. The tension is unbearable. An entire army holds its breath. But David's voice rings out, clear and steady, filled with a faith that overshadows even Goliath's massive frame. "You come against me with sword and spear?" David shouts, "But I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defied." This is the moment of truth. David declares that this day, the whole world will know that there is a God in Israel. He doesn't wait for Goliath to charge. He runs towards the Philistine line. He reaches into his bag, pulls out a stone, and places it in his sling. He begins to swing it faster and faster, a blur of motion. The giant is still lumbering forward, confident in his victory. David lets the stone fly. It slices through the air with incredible speed and precision. It strikes Goliath right on his forehead, the only spot unprotected by his helmet. The stone sinks in, and the giant ... staggers. He topples forward, crashing to the ground with a thunderous boom that echoes through the valley. The battle is over in a single, shocking moment. The shepherd boy did the impossible. When the Philistines see their champion fall, they panic and flee, with the Israelite army roaring in pursuit. David's victory wasn't just about a stone and a sling. It was about courage in the face of impossible odds and unwavering faith when everyone else was consumed by fear. This story has echoed through thousands of years for a reason. It reminds us that the size of our opponent doesn't matter as much as the size of our faith and courage. Sometimes, the greatest victories come from the most unlikely heroes. Thanks for watching. If you found this story as inspiring as I do, hit that like button and subscribe for more epic story. To God be the glory!